Breaking news here at 8 o'clock on Local 3. First Lady Jill Biden has tested positive for COVID just weeks after her husband recovered from the virus. This is video from last month, but Dr. Biden has mild symptoms and will isolate from others for at least 5 days.
She's currently in South Carolina and will stay there until she tests negative. She is fully vaccinated and double boosted, but will still take Paxlovid, the same drug President Biden took when he got sick. That's designed to reduce the risk of severe illness. But some patients can have a rebound case of COVID. That is what happened with the president. President Biden, by the way, tested negative this morning.
Well, just like the Biden's COVID vaccines aren't stopping everyone from getting sick. Just ahead this morning, what Colorado just added to its dashboard to better track those breakthrough cases.
And we are waiting for the release of new video today that could finally provide some answers as to why police fired into a crowded area in LoDo, injuring bystanders. The investigation still far from over.
And why Colorado is expected to miss a key deadline today when it comes to guarding against our historic drought and water use.
You know, it's always so sad to see so much rain fall yesterday and then still be in a drought. I mean, yeah, wow. Flooding in parts of the metro. This was video that I shot in my neighborhood in Highlands Ranch, heading to pick up the kids from school yesterday. That was a long line outside as us parents who did not want to get out of the car waited for the kids to be let out.
I got caught running in it and splashing around in some of those puddles. Take a look at this, folks. In southeast Denver, couldn't get through parts of Rosamond Park because of flooding on the pedestrian paths. And it wasn't just the walkers either. No,
Quincy Avenue and Parker Road in Aurora was closed for over an hour after flooding, and multiple accidents made that road undrivable. And it wasn't exactly easy for people to get a ride. Take a listen.
I called my mom and I was like, can my stepdad come for me? And she was like, nah, he's stuck as well. So I was like, oh wow, what a day. Crazy, super crazy.
Yeah, bad time to be outside yesterday during that fairly brief storm, but we're already still seeing some showers out there this morning, Lisa.
Yeah, it's pretty active out there, and I want to show you one area where it's getting, well, pretty wet right now. Now, the chances of widespread flooding are going to be a little bit lower today, but we're going to see a few cells like what we have developing right now. You can see just north of Broomfield, they're a little closer to Louisville and up across Northwest Parkway where we're seeing some heavier showers right now. Superior up along 36 heading toward Boulder. You're going to find wet roads too, so we are seeing more of it. And it's going to be scattered activity through the day for us today. Denver a little bit drier right now, but we are looking at a lot of cloud cover. Low to mid 60s. Roads are wet. Grass is wet after some of the overnight rain, but we're not seeing much falling down here at this point, but more to come. We'll be in the upper 60s to near 70 by noon. Low to mid 70s for highs today. It's going to be one of the coolest days that we've seen in about 2 months now. Highlands Ranch 71, Castle Rock and Parker mid to upper 60s, and more 60s as you head farther west. So a cool, wet day today. We'll take a closer look at where we're seeing some flash flood watches potentially popping up later today, especially near some of the burn scars again, Jason. That's going to be an area of concern.
I've seen some street flooding there in Boulder right now. And take a look at the camera that it's raining pretty good for us. This is over 28th and Iris. We're looking right down Iris from 28th. And you see how much splashing is going on here. You look how much water is under that truck right there. Take a look at the quad split where you can see that we do have quite a bit of rain here across Highway 36. There's a new crash coming in around McCaslin on 36 on that eastbound side. This is up by Erie. You can see even I-25 at 58. This is wet. This is down in Broomfield where we see some very wet conditions for us. And so the drive times right now on Highway 36 are getting really, really long. From the map there, you can see that westbound side really slow. Wadsworth, Sheridan getting on up past Church Ranch and into Broomfield. We do have very slow traffic getting across downtown. I-76 on either side. So it's that area where we're seeing a lot of rain causing those delays for us here this morning. I'm not seeing any flooding on I-70. They have the pumps working, so that's good. Northbound on Kipling trying to get past Alameda. Crash there. Also one at 285 in Lowell. That might slow you down a little bit. And look at the Denver Tech Center drive, really heavy on that south side.
Well, today we finally could see the controversial video of a police shooting through officers' eyes. Body camera video of the LoDo shooting where police shot into a crowd is expected to be released within the next few hours. Denver 7's Christian Lopez joins us live from LoDo this morning, right where that shooting happened. It happened, Christian, as the bars were letting out. Police say The man they shot at flashed a gun at them first.
Since that shooting a month ago here at 20th and Larimer, the community has really been pressing police for answers as to why they shot into that crowd of people when they were going after the suspect, Jordan Waddy. 6 innocent bystanders, they suffered various injuries, including a man who had a bullet lodged in his arm. And up until now, we've only seen a still photo from a body camera that shows what police say is Waddy flashing a gun at them, though there is no evidence that he ever fired that gun. We've also seen a picture of a 10mm handgun police say they found here at the scene. And under state law, audio and footage of an incident has to be released within 21 days of a request when there's a misconduct complaint. Today is that deadline. This case is also now in the hands of the Citizen Oversight Board, so they'll review whether Denver officers responded appropriately. They'll look at failures in training, protocol, and cultural issues. Last week, board members told us that they're closely tracking the incident, but the speed of these investigations is slow, and that can be very frustrating.
I think that's the most unfortunate condition of police accountabilities that can often be very slow, in particular because now there's a criminal investigation because people were shot. That makes it even slower, right? We've got outside parties in the DA's office and the Colorado State Patrol conducting an external investigation. And while I'm sure they are eager to get to the outcomes as quickly as possible,
that board is going to continue reviewing this case, but they told us in a way their hands are tied until the investigation into whether officers responded lawfully is complete. Live in Denver this morning, I'm Christian Lopez, Denver 7.
Well, students and families will see increased security at a Greeley high school today after a student stabbed another classmate. Yeah, this happened at Jefferson High School while kids were headed to lunch yesterday in the hallway with a crowd of students watching.
I'm not really shocked because of all the violence we've had and because of what I've been hearing in schools and because of what we've been seeing there. But I am saddened that, that our schools are not protected. Our students, the ones that really want to study, are not protected.
Denver 7 contacted Greeley police late Monday for details on where the school resource officer was during the time of the incident, but we have not heard back.
We're now getting a better idea of how many Coloradans have gotten a case of breakthrough COVID. That means you catch COVID even though you've been vaccinated. The state health department updated its breakthrough data dashboard on Monday, adding cases for children ages 5 through 11. There's also a new look on the dashboard that focuses on severe cases and hospitalizations.
Parents, a heads up, you might get a text from state health officials this week just reminding you to get your children up to date on routine vaccines. The text will notify you if your child is overdue for vaccines like polio or tetanus, measles or mumps. Routine vaccinations are down 9% this year among children under 5 compared to August of 2019. The vaccines can be given safely together, and that includes the COVID vaccine.
Medical abortions are about to be more accessible in Colorado. The telemedicine startup Wisp started offering the service this month. Denver patients will have access starting next month. The Denver Business Journal reports Wisp has offered online birth control since its founding in 2018 and saw a 3,000% increase in sales of emergency contraceptives after the Supreme Court's Roe v. Wade decision. This morning, the Justice Department is fighting for the affidavit used in the FBI's search of the former president's home to remain sealed. The department says it wants to protect witnesses and what it says is an ongoing investigation that implicates national security. Meanwhile, there's now a spotlight on whether or not national security secrets were compromised. The FBI also visited Mar-a-Lago back in June. One of former President Trump's attorneys signed a statement back then saying all classified documents were turned over. However, in this latest search, the FBI removed 11 sets of classified documents. The Senate Intelligence Committee is asking to see those seized documents.
Overnight, Boulder County lifted its fire restrictions for its unincorporated areas of western Boulder County. They had been in place since mid-June, but people who do controlled or agricultural burns will still have to apply for a permit through the county's website.
Colorado and 6 other states are expected to get pushback from the federal government for their annual water usage from the Colorado River. Those states have till today to come up with a plan to reduce the amount of water they use. The proposals will not be ready, though, because every state relies heavily on the river for farming this time of year. The first ever water shortage in the Colorado River was declared last year.
Still ahead, more rain is in our forecast today. Lisa will join us with the chance of thunderstorms and major flooding we could see. Plus,
we experienced so much hurt, so much pain that nobody never knew we was going through. So that's why we're kind of doing what we're doing now.
Meet the twins making their way across the country on foot and spreading a message of hope, awareness, and perseverance along the way.